Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Service Riders Anonymous. As always, I'm your host, Amy, with my beautiful, lovely co-host. Oh shit, you're not Brooke.
Close enough. Beautiful and lovely, though.
Yes.
Beautiful and lovely.
Especially in that shirt.
Yes. Flip-flop, shorty shorts. That's how we roll. I brought a party gift.
A party gift?
I did.
What'd you bring?
All the ice is gone from when it all fell over in the truck.
Jeez.
I'm a sucker for White Claws, sorry.
And you're going to have a real hard time wearing that shirt, drinking White Claw, convincing my listeners that you are not gay.
Maybe I am. What's it to them? What's it to them? All right. What are our topics? Where are we going with this? We've established I'm beautiful, lovely, and gay, apparently.
You could introduce yourself.
Hello. I'm beautiful, lovely, and gay. No, I'm Braden. I'm one of her husband's friends. I chased him down in a parts store parking lot because we both like the same kind of trucks. Yeah, I'm a 4x4 goober, hot rods, all that stuff. Done a little bit in the industry, dabbled. Nothing too fancy though.
Well, don't be too modest.
I was the commercial salesman for the parts store where I met her husband at. Before I moved out here, I was working at a Jeep swap shop kind of place, specialized in putting LSs inside of Jeeps that shouldn't have LSs in them, but should actually have them because they're lots cooler. Before that, I was at a 4x4 shop, did custom cars there too. Just work on cars. That's what we do.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at working on cars. I get so mad.
Yeah.
I get so mad.
Well, now you work at a dealership for big rigs.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. Yeah, I thought that experience would carry over. There are, oh man, we're going to get me angry right out of the gate. If a customer comes to you and says, I would like my air filter changed, you then go on to, what do you guys use, CDK?
I use DealerTrack now, but I have used CDK.
Yeah, okay, one of these things, and you type in, let's say the VIN number or the model of the car or something, and you type in the air filter. There are 9 different names for a damn filter. Oh, we didn't do that part of it. What's my swear word bleep? Not that one. Again. No, not that one either. That one. We'll do that one.
I just tell Spotify it's explicit.
I wanted a good swear noise. The swear noises were funny.
All right, I'll find you one.
You got 3 to choose from. All right, take it away. Hello, it's Braden. I'm an idiot.
Oh my goodness! I wish I could get a job at your dealership. I miss the big heavy duty diesel world.
It's a totally different world, though. Like, I really thought that my experience going into it would help me. I dare say it hinders me, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I know what's here. I know what should be going here. There's 9 other damn names for it. I just want the damn air filter. Give me the air filter. No, you got to put in this particulate filter of this with... Oh, I get so frustrated about that. It's a great job. Oh my gosh, that drives me up a wall.
Yeah.
Carrier bearing. I think I would type that into it. No, you go to the freaking frame and then kind of do something over here. And
I guess that's fair. I never really dealt with like the parts side of it other than like running to the tractor dealerships around town to try and find parts in college. We were on a first name basis with Wickham Tractor and John Deere, though.
I always laugh when everyone says I'm on a first name basis with John Deere. Like, that's a phrase that I hear frequently. But I have my grandfather's a diesel mechanic, but then his dad, he was a woodworker. And every time I hear that, I think of this one time where he was just showing me around his wood shop. And he was referring to John Deere as the person. Oh yeah, I went down there to John Deere's place and we went and did So now John Deere's, it's always plural and it's always a person.
John
When to the
Deere's.
John Deere's.
Oh, Wickham and Western Implement.
Do a lot of stuff with Western. Do a lot of stuff with Transwest, Caterpillar. A lot of stuff with them. His finger's actually still screwed up because of a Caterpillar piston. Turns out they seat into the actual block a lot easier than a car one. And funk, and there's your pinky and your fingers in with it. That feels good. There was a lot of swear word bleeps there. What's your worst service rating experience ever then?
It's hard to pick my worst customer. Actually, the worst customer was not even mine. We'll call her Judy. So Judy.
Sounds like a bitch.
Judy buys this truck on a Saturday. On Friday, a different salesman had asked me to scan the check engine light and see what was going on, and I told him at that time, hey, this hasn't been through service yet. It's a 2013 Tundra with over 200,000 miles on it.
I'd still rock it. I love those trucks.
And that's totally fine. That's totally your choice. But at that point, a used car dealership is only responsible for making sure that the horn works, the brakes are good, and the lights work. That is it. That is the extent of what a used car dealership is required to make sure works for a sale. But because it hadn't already gone through service, we had no leg to stand on when she brought us a laundry list of problems with this 200,000 mile truck. And she was nasty about it. And the part that I don't understand was she lives over 60 miles away. And she decided that she was going to drive this truck away on a Saturday with the check engine light on. And that was our problem to somehow figure out how we were going to get 3 towns over.
First one to crush a drink in the podcast.
We had to get 3 towns over to go pick up her truck and fix that check engine light. She wasn't going to bring it back to us. It's like, sorry, that's not how this is going to work at all.
I had a used car dealership try and sell me a Charger SRT with a dead hole in it. So thank God though the horns and the lights worked. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I lost my White Claws already. There they are. I don't want that one.
You haven't had enough of those yet to be losing them.
There's all the leaves on these. So I drove my truck here because we were going to do a whole segment about how my truck's not a build according to previous podcasts. I just drive a lifted truck by the criteria laid out by your anonymous service writers here. And so that was a talking point, but I've never actually spooled this thing up and tried to get after it. That's not what it's for. It's not a fast truck. So I spool this thing up, getting out onto the highway. My buddy's following me. We're just going to run to the store real quick. Yeah, we'll light it up a little bit. It's spooled in the rear, it's not going to spin the tires. Nah, this thing spins all of the tires, spins me 180 degrees into the road, and I stayed into it because I was like, oh, we're this far, see if I can pull out of it. And then the spool finally catches grip and shoots me forward. Oh, it was some nonsense. I was not ready for that. But all of that, now my drinks are all covered in leaves from leaving the windows down in it. Because it's not a fast truck. It's stuff gets inside. Stuff gets inside. It's fine. It's an old truck. Who cares?
It's a first gen Cummins. They're not known for being super fast in general.
Yeah, it's not. We'll get there eventually.
They are known for, it's not how fast you hit the brick wall. It's how far you drag it with you.
Yeah, I will take that wall and the mountain behind it with me. That's why it was built. One of these days we are going to dyno it. Because it's dumb how good that runs. It's dumb.
I know we're going to... Actually, I want to work for that guy, but...
Wouldn't that be fun? What if we did a podcast from there? Service Writers Anonymous, Dyno Edition.
Dyno Edition.
It's just a whole bunch of ruckus in the background. You can't hear a word anyone's saying. Anyways, getting back on track. Your worst service rating experience with this Tundra. Yeah, was that kind of the end of it? Or?
No, God, no.
Thank God.
She came in for, the very first... I don't even think it was an appointment. I think she just showed up to start cussing. And she is...
What was her swear word?
She is in my other service advisor's face. So, like, she'd be where that curtain is to you.
Okay. All right.
And she is cussing and spitting on him.
Sweet.
Like, she's cussing and getting so worked up, she is spitting on this poor man.
Okay.
And it's like, at what point do you take a certain amount of responsibility as an adult? You are an adult. You purchased a almost 12-year-old truck at this point.
That's scary.
12-year-old truck with over 200,000 miles on it, and you drove it off the lot with the check engine light on.
Oh my God.
Full well knowing that was not a secret.
How old is my truck?
What year is it?
That's
It's like a
that's
91?
like 30 years old.
Is it like a 91?
It's a 91, yeah.
Yeah, 33, 34.
Does that count as vintage now?
Yes.
Yeah, I can register that as a vintage.
Well, I don't know if Colorado cuts off at 30 or 35 years now. It used to be 20 back in the day, and then they changed it.
Huh. Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
That'll be the engagement question. So I still have yet to actually register my truck. I mean, it's registered. But when I go to register it next time, we'll say, I want to do custom plates on it. Put up a picture of it.
Got the list of Colorado custom plates?
No, of the pickup.
Oh, okay.
Here's a pickup. Pause for effect.
I'll have to get a picture of your truck before
That's
you
fine.
leave.
We can do it. I need to come up with a custom plate for it. I can't put Cummins because it flags a certain word in there. I don't want to do...
Apparently you also can't put GFC.
Why?
Jake Barr tried to. They wouldn't let him.
Right now, the truck's name is Old Blue.
Which is hilarious because it's gray.
It's blue.
It's gray.
Well, the parts that have faded are.
The parts that have faded are the whole truck. You will all have to comment and tell us what color you think it is based on the picture.
It's blue.
Anyways,
that's the truck's name, but it's not always going to be blue. It's going to be orange very shortly. So I can't do something like Old Blue. We need to come up with a custom plate for it.
And I'm sure Old Blue was already taken.
Maybe. I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know. I could do something weird with it.
Maybe by Brooke's boyfriend, honestly. I don't know.
I got beef with you, son. All 4 of your freaking turbos or whatever that was that they were talking about. So the reason that I asked about your worst experience is I wanted to talk about this guy that I dealt with at the off-road shop. His name was Tim Schmieberbuffen. So Tim Schmieberbuffen, he owned a local company in town, Schmieberbuffen Concrete, we'll say. And he made money. He had good money. And he liked old cool cars. Awesome. You want to bring your stuff in, drop it off, have us build you a car? I'm all about it. He would bring us the weirdest shit. Which, cool. You want to do something different? I get it. I'm going to Jeep Safari and that old hunk of junk. Do something different. Do something cool. I'm all about it. He brought us a Chevy Nova, a 67, that had been gassered, which means it had been just jacked up by 30 people in front of him trying to hot rod it. And then he brought us a Chevy Vega. It was actually kind of a cool car. The problem is that Tim Schmieberbuffen, was an ass. So he'd come in and he'd say, I want to do this, 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 and this. Okay, cool. A linked Chevy Vega wagon with a 383 in it with Holley EFI. That's kind of cool.
All right.
It's got the all original paint. That's kind of cool. But here's the thing, is that I have money. and I don't want to put it into this car. So you have to do this, and this is what I want, but I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, well, we could do this, and this, but it's not going to be what you want. Well, this is what I wanted. We'll do that. That's what I want. So weeks and weeks go by because we've got to work other cars in and out of the shop, right? And Tim, boy, he's needy. Take all the time you need. It's a hot rod. This is a custom car. Like, do what you need to. There's no reason that a Chevy Vega should have a 383 in it with all of this. Like, it had a 9-inch rear end. Like, it was a cool car. It really was.
Like a Ford 9-inch?
I think that's what it was. Don't hold me to it, but I think it was a 9-inch rear end, and it was linked and stuff. Like, it was cool. It was so redneck, though, because he cut corners on everything. Okay, you want to have a corner cut car and just get it to look good and be a cool hot rod? Sure, not a problem. But don't tell me that you want to build this doomsday machine out of a Vega. I'm all in on that. I am. And then get mad about what that costs. Okay, you're mad about what that costs. I get it. Whatever. You got the money. You don't want to spend it. Whatever. Let's do this instead. And then we do this, and you're mad because it's not what this was supposed to be. Ugh. Tim Schmieberbuffen, ladies and gentlemen. That freaking guy.
Don't be a Schmieberbuffen.
Don't be a Schmieberbuffen. Don't be a Schmieberbuffen.
Yeah, I wish that was only in custom work. You have no idea.
Oh no, like the regular guys got it all the time too. I had guys all the time with the off-road side of it that would come in and like, oh hey, I want to do, oh my god. Tim Schmieberbuffen, he must have had a brother or something. We'll call him Willie Schmieberbuffen. I've actually seen this truck at Full Size Invasion, which is next week, and I'm going to try and get there. People probably don't know what that even is. Easter Jeep Safari is basically every Jeep in the freaking world shows up in Moab for a week. And it's this huge event, and it's awesome. There's so many people. It's a traffic jam on the trails. I get angry. It's fine. But Full Size Invasion is basically these guys that kind of have done what I've done, and you take these cool old trucks, or you take something different, and build them with this new technology that we have. And it's awesome to see what these things can do. So yeah, Full Size Invasion. Anyways, I've seen this truck at Full Size Invasion a couple times.
I'll have to post some pictures of Full Size when we went.
Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. So this was a 93 Dodge Dakota. Had a, I think this one had a 9-inch rear end too, and a 44 front end. I think it was still leaf sprung. I don't think there was links on this one. I don't think, because we talked about doing a 3-link on it, and he didn't want to do it because money. And so we just did custom springs on it, I think. So I think it was all leaf sprung. So Willie comes in, and he's in and out. We're doing little things, kind of fine-tuning it, because this truck was cool. Like, it was sprung 35s. It did what it needed to. It was a little tall for my liking, so it'd get a little top-heavy. You had a shell on the back of it, too. So it'd get a little bit top-heavy. But, man, the travel this truck had for what it was just ridiculous. Cool truck. Cool truck. But he was always a baller on a budget, which I am too. I get it. There's a reason that my truck is blue or gray, like, and not painted and fabbed up yet. Like, I get it. And he'd come in and just, I need this, 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 and this. Okay, cool. We'd lay out the parts list. Well, I can't do that. Okay, cool. So what are we going to do? Either we're going to do this or we're going to do something else. Well, I want this. Great. But I'm not paying for that. Okay. What if we do this instead? Well, how much worse is that going to be? Well, it's going to do this, this, and this with like your geometry and everything. Well, that won't do. Why would I do that? You're the one that brought it to me!
Right.
Willie. So Willie would throw just temper tantrums in the showroom all the time. All the time. Which, I get it. I was the young guy. I don't know anything. I get it. There's a guy there that he worked really well with. But man, that guy was just, dude, I'm trying to help you. We're building something cool. Like, let's do something cool. I'm on board with it. Like, we've both had your truck in the back in the ditch, like flexing it out. It's cool. It works. If you don't have the money for this, cool. Let's not do that then.
Right.
Like, it works as it sets right now. I understand wanting to upgrade it and start doing these things, but oh my God, William, you schmeeber boofing son of a gun. God.
That's gonna be the thing now. Whenever anybody tries to cheap out on anything,
He's a
we're just gonna
schmeeber
almost
boofing. You're a schmeeber boof. Oh man,
Yeah.
so bad. It was so bad. And it like you said, like it wasn't just me. Like sure, the custom industry was something different. I'd get all the guys that go buy a brand new Jeep and want to put Terra 60s under it and a TerraFlex long arm and like, okay, cool, that costs money. Well, I don't want that. Like that was a thing.
Yep.
And then they come in. They buy a Jeep from the dealership. It's a cool Jeep. It's not bad. They buy an unlimited. Get the 4 doors. It's real nice clean JK. Cool. I want 40s on it. Okay. What are we gonna do about your front end? Because you bought the Unlimited and not the Rubicon, and even if you did buy a Rubicon, we've still got to address those Dana 44s in the front end if you want 40s. No, it'll be fine. I'm going to put 37s on the front and lock it on my Dana 30. If you don't know what happens there, it's designed for a tire this big. And then you put a tire this big. And then this little axle shaft inside of there. And this little pinion that's on side of right here. That gets locked up now. That doesn't have a choice. It's going to turn. You think those little things are going to work? Probably not. But then I'm an ass because I didn't tell you that, but I did.
Yep.
But no, I'm getting off track. I get so off track.
But if you're going to an off-road shop because you don't know how to do it yourself,
perfect.
You've got to understand you're paying for it.
That's why they are there.
If you want our expertise, you are going to pay for it, as with any other repair as well. Modification, if you don't know how to do it yourself, you take it to someone who does, you're going to pay for their time and experience.
Well, and that's before my tangent there. That was what I was getting at. Was like, sure, we saw it a ton, but we had a regular shop in the front that just did general automotive. We kind of had a European guy in the back. And, man, they would get it left and right, too.
Yeah.
I need a new alternator. Cool. This is how much your new alternator is. By the way, because it hasn't been doing that, like, your battery's shot at this point. Like, it'll hold charge for a minute, I guess, but good luck. I do it. Nah. And they bring it in a week later. It's dead again. Yeah.
We told you the battery was no good.
Told you.
And it's not my fault that it has a $350 AGM battery in it. I can't help you with that.
That being said, there's a lot of people who hate Optima lately. They sold out a few years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, because they're not the same.
They're not what they used to be. That being said, I still run red tops in everything I have because for the money, I don't think you can buy better. Is it what it used to be? Nah.
No, but I don't know if it's better than, like, say, a Napa Legend. Really.
Oh, it totally is. Oh, I die on this hill, and this is why. So I acquired a yellow top. I was going to put it in the back of my old Suburban because I wanted to run a whole bunch of, like, overland stuff off the back of it. And that could be its own separate unit, right? So I acquired this, put a charge to it, and I stuck it in my garage. I forgot I had it. And the other day, my buddy just bought that lives down the road from me, he just brought home a Toyota rock crawler. And he's been trying to get it going. This thing, it's got a Buick V6 in it.
All right.
Did you see that when you were there?
I did not notice.
It's got a Buick V6. It's got the Buick transmission and then 2 Toyota transfer cases. It is the most hodgepodge Toyota crawler shit I've ever seen. But
I've
anyways,
heard of people using those Buick V6s though.
Yeah,
they're
why not?
They're pretty rock solid.
Yeah, they're torquey little suckers.
And they're pretty reliable. Like almost LS reliability.
Yeah, so he's trying to get this thing running, and he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, do you have any extra like terminals that I can put on or something?" I was like, "Well, I think I've got a battery somewhere in there, and I might have a couple extra sets of cables or something that we can splice into it." So I ripped through my garage, found the battery, couldn't find the ends and anything. I was like, "Here, you're gonna have to charge this." It was a bad battery. Good luck. Here's this. First click. first flipping one. This thing has been sitting for at least 2 years. No, that longer, because they've apparently, I found out last night, they've lived there for 2 years now. So at least 2.5, maybe even 3 years. Instantly. It was dumb. Like, I was already getting ready to go get my truck and my big cables and pull it over and get it ready to go. And nope, just took it instantly. You can't buy parts like that anymore.
Yeah.
And sure, yeah, they had a quality drop. They did. I've seen it firsthand. Guys have to warranty them out. Some of them are bad.
Yeah, the Optimas and Interstates are like that too.
Interstate, I've got one of the old Interstates.
Yeah, the green top.
Oh, it's so cool. Yeah. It's so cool.
Interstate with a black top is a Chinese battery. Just so everyone knows.
Yeah. I've got one of the old ones. Like right before it happened, I bought it new and stuck it inside of the Subaru. The rest of the car doesn't freaking work, but that battery. So that's something to segue into.
Subaru's gone, isn't it?
No, I still have it.
Oh.
That's a whole story.
Oh, God.
Parts, though. You've kind of dabbled into this.
Yes. Yeah, parts.
Right around Rona, we had that huge drop.
Yep.
Okay,
quality control
a pandemic hit the earth. Okay, things changed.
Shut down all the manufacturing.
Yeah. Why haven't we been able to recover from it?
Because they never hired back the quality control teams, is what I think. I think they're trying to recoup their losses by not hiring the labor that they used to have, so they decided that quality control is the people they were going to cut. Mm-hmm. That's my theory. Mm. If anybody works in that industry, that would be great for y'all to speak up.
Especially at Yukon Gear and Axle.
Oh, God.
Go ahead, look into it. JKs, JLs, and JTs. I love Yukon Gears. That's what's in my truck.
Yeah, that's what we had in the black truck. The black truck was all Yukon.
These new Jeep ones, man. I don't know if it's still an issue. I guess that's kind of an older attack at them. Yeah. But there was, right when the JLs and JTs were coming out, that was a big problem. It was right around, I guess that was 2018, so it was a little bit after that. 2020, we'll say 2020 to 2023. We'll say. That was a lot of 20s. Every flipping one of them, it was just case after case. These guys would re-gear their Jeeps, and it would just destroy these differentials. It was so bad. Oh, it was so bad. Like, to the point where, like, in the shop industry, it was like, well, I want Yukon Gears.
Are you sure?
I know. I know you do. I want them too. Let's run Sierras inside of here instead for right now. Which is super interesting.
I'm not even, like, besides Eaton, I don't even know of anybody else that makes gear sets that are worth a shit.
The good gears are made in India. So, Nitro, Yukon, there's a couple of them. They're all made at the same plant. Different boxes. I've had Sierra gears show up in a Yukon box.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was awesome. Man, is that what it was? It was something like that. Because I cracked it open and I was like, Yukon, what? Nitros are what, like, all the Toyota guys run. Mm-hmm. They're sweet. It's basically the Yukon for Toyota guys. That's a bad example, but you get what I'm throwing down. Yeah, man, they had a bad drop. But it's been like that across the entire industry. Yep. One of my favorite ones was Iron Rock Off-Road. Their prices skyrocketed. Same with like Terraflex and stuff. Yeah. Because they weren't compensating for that, and they were just raising the prices. I think there was a minute there where like a Terraflex just 3-inch long arm, it was like $10,000.
Jesus.
Like something that was like 5 or 6, it was like $10,000. It was ridiculous. Yeah. The internet's gonna shit on me. My numbers are probably way off. It was
at least
something
I'll get some
stupid.
engagement finally.
Yeah, right? Everybody shit on me. There's my swear word bleep. So you think it's a quality control thing?
I think so, yeah.
Because that's even in building this truck, I want to do like old, simple. It just works, nothing fancy. Even doing that, I have to find these custom places The steering shaft inside of a first gen. It's a weak point. It always has been. It always will be. You have to find, I think it's called Borg and Wagner. It replaces the whole thing. Because if you go to a parts store and get it, it's going to go out in a year.
Yeah.
Like, why? Just get the solid hunk of steel that is made good and replace the thing. And it works. I've got tires on there that weigh more than the average 42. Like, they're stupid. You saw it. We put them all in the back of her little Toyota, and
it wasn't that bad.
It was vertical.
You definitely felt the bumps coming back on that.
Oh, we hit the bump stop so many times. Yeah, I'm glad you got the TRD edition.
They're off-road tuned shocks, okay? They're not tuned for hauling.
How much weight do we were going to throw one of those on the scale to see how much they weighed, and I never did.
We never did do that. We need to.
Yeah. I've got spares now.
Are they on the truck now?
Yeah, that's what I painted.
Okay.
That's what's on there. But I now have 6 spares.
I mean, most people run with 1. I can see the logic in having 2, but I don't know if 6 is necessary.
You know, if I get a flat, I'm fine. Everyone's laughing until they're not. I should do that for Jeep Safari. Just have all of them in the back of it. Oh, those wheels are cool. Thanks, I have a plethora.
I've been trying to leave some room for camping gear.
Sleep on top of them.
Oh my god. Is yours a bench seat?
It is.
Oh, well, there you go. You can sleep on the bench.
Yeah, I actually fit really good. I'm short as hell. I don't know if you can see it in the podcast, but I actually fit perfect in a single cab between the doors when I'm sleeping. I fit perfect inside of it. No, hopefully come Jeep Safari, I'll have the shell on it. It's already got the carpet in the back, and it'll be a full-blown fortress in the back of it. Be dining like a king.
Nice.
Nice.
That was the one thing that, like, the Suburban kind of started growing on me for, which is, like, you can lay down both back rows totally flat.
Have you talked about the Suburban on this yet?
Not really, no.
You do have the right guy on the podcast for it.
I do. That was the car that he chased down my husband because he was driving our Suburban at the time when this guy had 2. No, you didn't have the second one yet at that time, but you had the 1500. Didn't you? Or was it the 25?
No, I had the 1500. I'm trying to think if I had the 2500. No, because he was with me when I sold the pickup initially to go get the 2500.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought you had the 15.
Yep, so I was starting to build the Dodge, and I had the 1500. So we both had 91s. His was the 2500 though.
Yeah. And then when you bought your 2500, and we immediately took it out to the desert and blew the head gasket.
We didn't. No, we didn't.
That's not what that was.
Do we want to get into that story?
Sure.
I'm a little salty about it. I still am. I sold it to my friend. He got a great deal. It runs great now.
Now.
Okay, so I had 2 trucks when I met you guys. I had this one-owner Dodge that I've always wanted to build, and I had my camping rig. It was a 1991 GMC 1500 Suburban. I had it on 37-inch Mickey Thompsons, some Raceline wheels. I had a CVT mount hood tent up on top of it. This thing was the ultimate camping monstrosity. I loved it. It was a monster. And drove that around quite a bit because it actually did a lot better on fuel mileage than you would think. Don't ask me what it got. That's what everyone wanted to ask me. What kind of fuel mileage does that get? I don't know. It's a lead house going down the highway. Not good. Not good. So I had that, and I started building my truck. I just sold a super duper cool Jeep that I had built. I actually can't take credit for building that. It was mostly built, and I just changed some things. Sold that, made a bunch of money, and I was going to build my dream truck. I had the family rig set up. Cool. I'm going to build my big bad truck now. And so I start building my big bad truck, and it was something else. I loved it to death and put way too much money into it for what it was. But that's what you have to do to buy the good part. How much money do you think I'm into that truck right now? Cost-wise out of it, just in upgrades and stuff.
I don't even know what you've upgraded, so I couldn't even guess.
There's some money into it. There's way more money than you think there is. And finally got it all put together. All right, maiden voyage. I was literally scrambling. It was the night before Jeep Safari. I had a buddy here, and I was scrambling trying to put, ironically enough, the Humvee wheels and tires together for it. Trying to get it ready. I couldn't get this one to seat. Turns out that I smashed one of my picks getting into they've got super special valve stems on them. And I had a pick that I was screwing with it before. Well, I put it all back together and I impacted it down into it. And I still have the pick that was impacted into the Humvee wheel. I couldn't figure out why it was leaking. Pop the cap off. Oh, that'd do it. That'd do it. Got it all put together. I get out to Jeep Safari and I show up in this thing. I got interviewed by like Motor Trend magazine. Like, guy chased me down. It was one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me. No one would believe me, but my buddy was there. So cool. And like, the Matt's Off-Road guys are giving me high fives about it. And like, I did Hell's Revenge one day and came into a gas station, and then like all the big YouTubers just start rolling in and they're all gawking over my truck. And I'm like, hi guys, what's going on? And they're like, hey, Robbie Layton just built a limousine that's going to go up the gate. You want to go? Yeah. And so I went and did this with all these huge YouTubers, and it was so cool. And this truck just shined like a gem. And then I was like, okay, well, that was fun. I just watched a limousine go up the gate. I don't know that anything I'm going to see the rest of the day tops that. So I'm just going to go see what this truck will do on the rest of the way out. And so I passed every one of the big YouTubers. Passed them. And I did the rest of the trail. Ended up catching up to Best Top. They make Jeep tops. They were doing a trail there. Guess who their featured guests were? Fred and Dave from Dirt Every Day.
Nice.
That's why I chased down her husband in the parking lot, because he had a Dirt Every Day t-shirt on and walked out to a Suburban. It's like, we're friends. You don't have an option. We're friends now. And so they're out there. They're all, yeah, we did Escalator in it. It's so cool. And I am just riding this high on how cool this truck is. And show up, the family shows up, and I get halfway through the first trail at top of the world. And man, this truck just does not work for everyone. Oh, no. It doesn't work for them. It doesn't work. This is perfect for me. This is not perfect for my family. And my heart sank. It did. I knew we weren't even halfway through the trail, and I just like, it's not going to work. The Suburban works for everyone. This does not work for it. And at the time, like, I'd been doing a whole bunch of research into the Suburbans. I knew what I wanted. I found a great deal on this one. It wasn't quite what I wanted. It was very close. Wasn't quite what I wanted, though. And we came back, had a horrible, like, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was fun. Any camping trip, out there, it's a great time. But like, the back window got stuck down, and then the wind hit. That was the year that Jeep Safari had all the snow. We had a whole storm come through the whole back, cover all of our gear. And it was frustrating. It was. But I took everything home and went, okay, this was perfect for me. This does not work for my family. Okay, let's build one that does both. And so I started shopping around a little bit. Now, mind you, I looked for a year and a half for the Suburban that I wanted in northern Utah. I looked and looked and looked. I found this one on a whim, kinda, and went, yeah, I don't need the big 1-tons for this. I don't need the barn doors. Like, this will do just fine. It works. And it did. It really did. But if I'm going to build something that I can go do Pritchett with, I want to do the hot tub. Like, I need that big axle. I need that. And I am very frustrated with the tailgate with the window stuck down right now that you can't get parts for. Back to the parts thing. Ugh. Can't get parts for those. They're freaking annoying. Okay. I don't have the money for this. I just found the holy grail. My dad's owned this forever. It's the 2500. It's the 91. It's got the big 4L80 transmission. It's got the barn doors. It's got the big axles. That's it.
You could get a barn door with the 4L80?
My Suburban was cool, dude.
I was like, because ours is a 91 with the 4L80, but it does not have the barn door.
No, it doesn't.
It's the window.
No, it doesn't. I searched the entire western U.S. I found a couple. They were hunks of junks.
Yeah.
This one was good. And so I was like, this is going to get gobbled up fast. The second someone knows what it is, I have to acquire this money somehow. And so me and your husband went to Rock Junction, and I made an ad before I went out there that said, this is what I'm going to sell this truck for. Anyone that knows anything can look at it and see what I've done to it. I put my heart and soul into it. I bought it from the original owners. There's not even 100,000 miles on it yet. Come get it. It'll be at Rock Junction. And Mike and Sean from Rory's stuff, they were trying to snipe it. They were crawling all over it, trying to buy it out from under the guy that I was waiting for. So I sold that truck for the craziest price. I lost so much money. Literally loaded up from Rock Junction and drove 3 states away and went and bought this Suburban. It was awesome. Awesome. What a monster. Brought it back, and I'm like, yeah, this is the new one. This is good. We're going to do it. This is going to be the end-all, be-all. And I was like, hey, you guys want to go wheeling?
And it was hot. It was
hot.
like 100 degrees. That's why we didn't take the black truck. We took Tacoma because it has air conditioning.
It was warm. My AC worked for half the time.
I was say for a little while.
So we get out there. We're having a good time doing a little four-wheeling. I was trying to get them scratch their Tacoma.
Didn't happen.
It didn't happen. I'm good at peer pressure, not that good. Super duper cool. And we get to this stretch where it's this big long hill. I'm like, man, that temperature sure is coming up pretty quick. I mean, it's an old truck. Like, it happens. Let's let them get up the hill, make sure they can do it, and we'll sit at the bottom, kind of wait. So they come around the corner, they start climbing, and I lose sight of them. All right, sitting there. Temperature's not really going down. All right, well, let's get to the top of this hill, put it in low. We'll get up there and just figure it out. Yeah, they're to the top by now. Start going up, come around this corner, and there you guys are just wedged between that rock. You forgot about that, didn't you?
I did. Or blocked it out because I don't even remember now.
Yep. You were very close to more than scratching that Tacoma. You guys were scared.
I wasn't driving. I just made the payments.
You guys were worried. So I'm watching my temperature gauge just climb and climb and climb. Oh my gosh, this is getting hot. We gotta get to the top of this hill. So I'm going a little bit faster than I should have been. Come up over this corner, and there they are, just wedged in that rock. Oh no, we're like half. There is no turning around in this. Like, all right, pop the hood. Let's go see if we can go help them. So I pop the hood, throw it open, come over, helped you guys for a minute get out of it. You guys got up, and I came back down. God, there's a lot of heat coming off of that. Slam the hood down. I'm like, all right, just get to the top of the hill. We'll do something after there. Get in, and that temperature gauge hasn't moved. We were out for like 25 minutes trying to get you guys out of that.
Oh, I don't think it was that long. Maybe
No?
15.
15? Okay.
But still, plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time. And slam the hood down, hurry and hop in, throw it in gear, and I look at that temp gauge, and it hasn't moved. Whew. All right, that's hot. Well, there's no turning back at this point. Let's get to the top. And so I just power this thing through to the top. And it is just a coughing and a sputtering. And I'm not going to say what temperature it was at because it was stupid. I just wanted to get to the top of the hill so I could let it cool down. Get up there. Holy moly, this thing's coughing and sputtering. Pop the hood open. The intake is laying on the long tube headers. So every bit of air that was going inside of that is being pulled off these unwrapped long tube headers directly into it. Well, there's your problem. Cool.
That's why I won't cool down.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm looking at it, and the intake, it was just that old plastic. It just gotten to the point where it was so old that it just didn't sit right. So we're climbing through both of our vehicles, getting zip ties, trying to zip tie this thing. And I was like, man, that wasn't good. All right, we let it cool down. It eventually kind of comes down. It did. It came down. But, like, it just wasn't running right. And I just cooked that motor. That was not smart. Like, that was a bad idea. I'm an idiot. Oh no. No, it's fine. We're running good. We're running good. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And it turns out that when you cook the snot out of something, your coolant kind of goes everywhere. So there's no coolant. Okay, that's good. Didn't know that at the time. Wasn't thinking clearly. There was like 8 different things that I had just... I cooked the snot out of it. I cooked the snot out of it. And so... Yeah, it's AC quits working inside of it. Like you said, it was 100-something degrees out in the middle of the desert. And I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I got to get back to the road. Like, we're out way further than I had been in that time. And I was like, let's just get back to the road. Get back to the road. Everything's cooling down. It's fine. We don't have AC, but we're making it work. And start cruising down the highway. And her husband calls me because he's following us. And he's like, dude, there's something on the front of my truck. And I was like, what'd you do? And he goes, no, it's coming from yours. And I think he said he thought it was trans fluid.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it wasn't the first time that truck took a bath in coolant, if that makes you feel better.
It might have been coolant. It might have been... Because, like I said, like when I got home, there was no more coolant.
Yeah, that Tacoma's had a bath in coolant twice.
I gave him a shower, and I was like, all right, let's just get it back to the gas station that's closest to us, and we'll check it out. So we're screaming down the highway. I can just feel this thing losing power. Oh my gosh, which long term, the reason why I bought that specific one was to put an LS in it. I wanted to put a 6-liter LS in it because it literally bolts up. It bolts directly to it. You have to change like 2 things on the motor mount and your harness, and that's like it. It's dumb. It's dumb how easy they go in. And so we get there, and my transmission is just, that's what it was. It was red. So we were pouring tranny fluid all over you guys. And it's just dumping. Every fluid there is coming out of this engine. Just a bad deal. And I was like, all right, well, what am I going to do? Mess it up worse? Get it home. And so I got it home, took it into a shop that I know really well. We ran a compression test on it. Cooked the snot out of this thing. The cylinder wall between 3 and 5. Normally they're like that big, I think is what it is. Wasn't that big. And you could hear that piston just inside of it. Like, I cooked that motor. All right, now I'm screwed. Okay, ended up selling the 1500 Suburban, just down to the car. And, okay, I wasn't planning on doing this for a few years, but now we're going to do the LS swap. And so I picked up this truck for a good deal, had the 6-liter LS in it, yoinked the powertrain out of it, started getting everything ready for it, and it was just problem after problem after problem. And the truck would start, and every now and then, like, I'd start it and let it just run, but I wasn't going to drive it, because at any point it was just going to be done. Like, I always said, like, I've driven this thing a couple times, like, it's a V6 right now, and it's still going. This thing's so tough. And yeah, it was just this whole thing. Things happened. It was 6.5. Stuff happened, and I was like, hey, I have to get rid of this. Sold the LS, and my neighbor came over and was just like, man, I want that. And I was like, well, you know what it is, right? Like, I don't want to do that to you. And he's like, okay, do it anyways. I know where 350s are. Like, it's not that, okay, this is what it is. This is what it's worth. Like, as it sits, I'll give it to you and you only for this. So he gets it, and he drives this 6.5 cylinder thing every day with all of his business equipment inside of it. Every day. Just fine. And I'm like, all right, cool, dude. Like, we both know it's coming. Like, good for you. And he takes it in to a local guy, and he's like, I don't think that's what it is. I'm like, I've got the compression test right here to show you. I think you just got some, like, bad lifters or something, man. Something stuck in the top end. I was like, I really don't think that's what it is, but if that's what happens, you just got the deal of a lifetime. And it was gone for about 2.5 weeks while they were out on a vacation, and they got it back, and boy, he got a good deal. I love that truck. I'm so happy for him. Yeah, that's the story of the Suburban. But the LS is sitting on the side of the road with the transmission, with the transfer case.
On the side of the road?
I know exactly where it would not be hard to go get that. The wiring harness was the piece of resistance, but we talk about it about every time we're out front. I got a steal on it. It wasn't built for that truck. It was supposed to go in a Chevy Love drag truck that had a 6-liter. Yeah, right? And the truck ended up not happening, and so this box had just been sitting in their garage, and he's like, that's cool, I'll give you a deal on it. And I saw the original receipt, and that's not what I paid. So that was the piece. That was the piece of resistance. So, all right, last topic. People at work. As a service writer, coworkers.
Oh, yeah.
Coworkers is a big part of being a service writer.
For the most part, like, I haven't worked anywhere that I couldn't get along with just about everyone.
That's good.
You never get along with everybody all the time. Even in my first little shop, like 4 employees total. That was the whole shop. The owner, me, the head tech, and the young kid. That was it. That was all. We didn't always get along every single day, but for the most part, we did, and we all had each other's backs. And
that's good.
It was a great.
That's what you want. Yeah, that's what you want. What I want to dabble into though is
the coworkers you don't get along with.
On a previous podcast, you mentioned going out to Utah with one of your guys' buddies to go pick up some wheels and tires.
A certain buddy.
And he told you a story that you briefly touched on about a knight. Since this is anonymous, he's going to be a knight. His name Sir Stinks-a-Lot. Do you remember talking about this?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Have you got one of those? Before we dive into mine. Someone that
Not
you
like
just...
that.
I hear his name and he walks in the building and the hair on my neck just stands up. And I... yeah, that one. I want to hear about that one. I want to hear about that one. I want to deep dive into that.
I was going to tell this story last week with Brooke, and we just never got back around to it.
Now's the time.
I had a customer's Explorer that needed a rear differential. Getting covered under warranty. I had the parts manager order it. It's supposed to be 3 to 5 days. It is day 5. Like business day 5. It was ordered a week before.
Okay.
Still haven't seen it. Customer calls me. I go to him because...
Something else that happened during COVID.
I go to him because the parts manager wasn't there at that moment. I don't remember if she was off that day or she was at lunch. One of the two. And he was like, well, I don't know. Okay, can you find out? So I tell the customer, parts manager's gone for the moment. I'll give you a call back in a couple hours after lunch.
Can you find out? I'm gonna butt in right there. As a service writer, that's all you have to say. I don't know. Let me find out.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. And I also had an inventory vehicle. Same year. Same problem.
Perfect.
The sales manager had called earlier that day, and I said, I'm not sure where it's at. You can call over to parts if you want. I can go back to parts, or you can call back there. He's like, cool, I'll just call him. So he calls him. I found out after that he didn't even check before he gave the sales manager an answer. So after he gets back from lunch, I need an update on both of these differentials. He says, well, there's only one ordered.
Okay.
I'm like, well, which one?
Yeah, I'd like some of them.
Like,
please.
No, this one is a customer's vehicle that's getting replaced under warranty. This one is a sold unit and an inventory vehicle.
Now, did you have tracking information?
I did not have access to it. He
no
had to
one
call
does.
and get it. Yeah,
no one does. Yeah, we sent it. Where? I don't know.
usually the parts manager can get it.
Okay.
So finally,
what would you like me to tell my customer? I don't know.
He tells me. He tells me, well, I don't know which one it is. Find out. Like, I honestly, at this point, I don't really care which one is the one that was ordered.
Finish that statement. I don't know. Let me find out.
Whichever one comes in first, I'm putting in my customer's vehicle. And he finally calls over to the supplier we get the parts from and establishes, yes, it is the one for my customer's car. So I called the sales manager. I said, hey, I don't know what he told you earlier. I don't know what you already told the customer. It's going to be another week on the differential for the sold unit. And he was like, that parts man promised me it was going to be here today.
That there parts man told me.
Told me it was going to be here today, guaranteed. And by the way, when he finally called on it, it wasn't going to show up till Tuesday. But it wasn't the right differential for that car. So I told the
of course it showed up wrong. Of course it did.
No, I told the sales manager, I'm like, the one that's on order is for my customer's vehicle. It's coming in. It's getting replaced under warranty. And he says, he promised me it was going to be in today. I told the customer it wouldn't be ready till next Thursday, trying to give you guys more time. I said, I don't even know if I'll have it by Thursday.
Let alone get it to my tech so they can put it in.
And you know what? I'm certain.
Because they don't have a schedule.
I know exactly what happened. It came through on the software. He called over to the supplier and he said, I've already got a differential for a 2020 Explorer ordered. And he heard the PO with the technician's initials at the end because it was the same tech working on both, and didn't even think to actually check the rest of the PO number.
Oh, it's the same car though. It's fine. It's fine. It's the same car. It's the same issue. It must be the same thing.
Right. And then that differential came in bad, and we were going to steal the one because he ended up, the service manager ended up.
Did I not just call that?
Yeah. So the service manager ended up making him order reman because we were working with junkyards ordering used ones previously. So he made him order a reman from Ford.
There you go.
So that we could get it faster than waiting for the junkyard one. Well, when that one came in and my customers was already bad, I was like, well, let's steal that. They were different gear ratios. Anyway.
Of course, that's what I was thinking. Like,
of course, they were different gear ratios,
yeah.
so I couldn't do that. So I'm still waiting for my customer's car to get finished.
Oh, lovely. Before I got into this industry, I had beautiful hair. And now I'm bald. Because of things like this. It's coming. Get ready for it.
Oh, it's already there. Yeah, that's not... I'm not 100% sure how we got to this point with him after the $10,000 motor debacle.
Oh, it's the same guy?
Yeah.
Buddy, trade your shit in.
Yeah, it was I think it was a BMW.
Oh, well, yeah.
I heard this story secondhand. This was before I actually started here. You
just threw all of my sympathy out the window. Like, of course it was. Of course. I was picturing like a Ford Exploder or something. Like, of course. It was an Audi or a BMW.
Yeah, it was either an Audi or a BMW.
That doesn't count. Yeah, that doesn't count. You just plan for that.
But no. So we ordered a brand new motor. It was getting replaced under warranty.
How many miles were on it?
0. Reman. Total fucking
No, the first one.
Oh, I don't know.
Some?
That I don't know.
Like 30,000? About all they're good for.
Probably a little more than that. But this $10,000 brand new motor comes in, and it's sitting in the back parts room. This man.
Oh, you're talking about a Schmieberbuffen. I know the exact Schmieberbuffen I'm talking.
No, the parts man.
Yeah.
Slaps a core sticker on it.
Yeah.
And
that's what he did?
It gets sent back to a junkyard as a core.
Oh, man. That's bad.
Oh.
New motor, core motor. They look the same.
Yeah, right?
One's wrapped, nice, new. The other one's... I mean, it's, again, going back to the BMW thing, it might look brand new.
Well, I mean, this one's in a crate that doesn't even have a single greasy fingerprint on it from a technician, so, I still trust Napa parts over O'Reilly's any day of the week.
Okay.
Especially coolant.
I don't trust any of them.
Well... Water pump, thermostat, alternator. If you get them at O'Reilly's, you are asking for trouble.
Murray. And that's why they won't take me back. No, there's definitely things you go OEM with. There's definitely things that you can run into the parts store and grab. There's definitely a time and a place. And a lot of people don't get that.
Yeah.
That's like I was going over like with my truck. Like fix these things with the right things. Is it anything fancy? No, but get the right things. So Sir stinks a lot. Our knight of the not so round table. He's more like an oblong table kind of guy. I don't even know where to start with this one. What I don't remember what you said on the previous episode.
I'm just trying to convince you soap was a scam.
Oh yes, soap is a scam by Big Soap to trick you into good hygiene. We don't use that. That's all Big Soap. We don't. No. It's a scam. It doesn't do you any good. It's a waste of money, and anyone that uses it is an idiot. Summed up.
Mouthwash is also
I would love to watch what would happen if we poured hydrogen peroxide or like brown Listerine into his mouth and just watch the nuclear bomb go off.
Brown Listerine?
Oh, have you seen? Oh man, brown Listerine. So like, you ever get that like tingle or you get a sore like when you wash with something?
Sure, yeah.
All right, now I want you to put cocaine in it and amplify it by like 11. Brown Listerine, you could run a car off that. Brown Listerine is not for the faint of heart.
The Dukes of Hazzard were selling it.
Like, it is. Whoa. Like, this stuff in here is nothing compared to brown Listerine. You don't know about that?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, that'll be our new short that we're going to create. We're going to give you brown Listerine and just watch you cry. Like, it is. Whoa. You better have a perfect Colgate smile for that stuff, because it's coming for blood.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's something else. There's so much I could say about Sir Stinks a lot. So, I'm weird. I've wore shorts all winter. Like, I'm from northern Utah. It's not cold here to me. I can wear shorts and flip-flops in a snowstorm. My torso is a different story. It's weird. I can wear like a big Carhartt hoodie and vest and be bundled up, and then shorts and flip-flops. It's fine. But like all year,
It's
my
a
fan.
northern Utah thing.
Yeah, it's not cold here. Look at me. I'm built for it. Like I'm thick. Like I'm hairy. Like I'm built for it. It's not cold here. But all year long, everyone's just been giving me crap because my fan's on inside of my office, and they're like, "Dude, it's like 12 degrees. Why are you in shorts and your fan is on?" Well, my office is kind of this little Harry Potter closet, and
You're shoved into the cupboard under the stairs.
I'm shoved into the cupboard under the stairs, and he'll come in and just stand there and stare at. He will literally just come in, lean up on my door. Meanwhile, I'm trying to do paperwork, enter stuff in, get everything situated, and he's just...
Then why are you here?
What are you doing? What? Hello, I see you. I acknowledge your presence. Like, and he just stands there. All while this stench is coming into my Harry Potter closet. And it stays there and it lingers even after he is done lingering there. All day long. Now, mind you, I have not been able to smell since 2020. The day that I tested negative, I was standing in a paint booth talking to my painter, and he was like, "How are you breathing right now?" I was like, "Well, I am kind of lightheaded, but I don't smell anything." Yeah, no, he just sprayed suspension parts to paint match them. I had no idea. I was, yeah, those are cool. They're hanging up there. They look good. Cool. Why you got your mask on? What are you doing? So we went up front and tested it, and yeah, I couldn't smell anything. I've smelled one thing since then. It was actually at the parts store. I smelled a cinnamon roll and immediately walked across the road and bought like 6 of them. So like I smell from what I can taste, if that makes sense. Like if ever there's like a strong chemical and you kind of, I can taste the chemical. Someone has too much Axe body spray on or something. That's how I taste. And I've gotten pretty good at it actually. But his staleness that comes into my office, it just tastes like dust and dirt in my mouth. And it's horrendous. Horrendous. And I can't stand it. So I always have these fans just blowing and blowing and blowing out of my office. And people just couldn't understand it. So finally I just started telling people. I'm like, dude, Sir Stinks-A-Lot comes in here and I can't breathe. Is that really why you do that? Yes. Yes, it is. And like, I was super nice about it at first. Now I've gotten mean.
Yeah.
I am mean. Because I thought for sure he'd be out of a job by now, but like, he's not. And so if I'm going to have to deal with this, I'm not going to deal with it. Like, and I wish, like, I'm super self-conscious about how I smell because I can't smell myself. So anytime I taste something, I go, oh no, is this me? So I wish that someone would tell me. So I'm trying to be nice, and I'm trying to tell you, I can't breathe around you. Ugh. Well, you're not nice. No, your smell is not nice.
Right?
Ugh.
Your smell is offensive at this point.
Oh, it's so bad. And it's not just me. Everyone there knows it. I've just started saying it. It's so bad. It's so bad. So me and an old man there, we're devious. He got a little electronic beeper. So periodically, it's like one watch battery. It's good for like 14 years. It'll beep like every 10, 15 minutes, whatever you set it to. And it's just this subtle beep, beep. So he took it and stuffs it down into the seats of Sir Stinks-A-Lot's truck. Because he knows everything about trucks. He knows all of it. We know nothing. He knows everything. He doesn't know a damn thing.
That's usually, yeah, the ones that are confident.
Yeah.
Don't
No,
know.
I know nothing. He knows everything. Cool. So he comes back in one day, and I didn't know about this. This guy just did this without telling anyone, because that's who he is, and it's funny as hell. He sticks this thing down into the seat cushions, and he's coming back in all day long. Dude, my truck is just beeping at me. I'm like, yeah, you probably backed it into a concrete wall again, and now it's pissed off at you. These are nicer, newer trucks. Like, you're destroying yours. Like, and it just keeps beeping, man. I was like, well, what did you do? Nothing. I don't believe that. I've seen you drive. Like, I don't believe it for a second. And he just keeps coming back in. It's beeping, it's beeping, it's beeping. So he ends up going home. I'm shutting everything down. The old man gets back, and he's like, well, I did something to Sir Stinks-A-Lot. What'd you do? He goes, you know that little prank that we did before? I was like, yeah. He goes, I got another one that just beeps, and I stuck it in between his seat. I lost it. Like, I'm on the phone. I lost it. Couldn't keep it together for like 10 minutes. Finally finished up my phone call. And I'm like, dude, he came in here on the dot every hour, yelling at me, basically, about this beeping that's going on inside of his truck. And I thought the guy was a nutcase or ran his truck into a wall or something. And he's just smiling, that old man, like, yeah, that was me. I did that. And so he left it in there, right? And so the next day, he's like escalating this. And we're like, man, he's going to take this into the parts manager. It's going to be a whole big deal. They're going to try and send his truck in for something that doesn't actually exist. Like, let's get it out of there. You distract him over here, and I'll go get it. Where it's just stuffed in between the seats. Cool. I'll go find it. So I go out there, and I reached in over the cushion and didn't even realize that I put my face just right into the seat and inhaled. I threw up.
I bet.
I threw up. And it was so bad. And I rummaging around all over this truck, and I was like, I came back and I can't find it. And so he goes out there and he's like, oh, it was on the passenger side. God, I was rolling around inside of this truck thinking like it was in the back. And he's like, no, it was hard to find it. It took me a minute. It rolled around. There's so many Sir Stinks-A-Lot stories. Oh, there's so many Sir Stinks-A-Lot. Oh.
God, you'd think at a certain point even the customers would be like,
They do! They do! They really do. That's how they, like, if ever I have to go cover for him, heaven forbid, because he doesn't do his job, and I have to go cover for him because he can't function, they'll, like, oh, hey, you're not the stinky guy.
Oh, God. I love
That's how they see us.
Oh, I'm the stinky guy.
That's how, and these are people that I've had no interaction with, that no one, like, has told, because as the salesmen that are doing the part stuff for the service writers, they're not going to say something like that. Hey, just so you know, this guy that's going to come drop these off, he smells like shit. They're not going to say that, but they've all just learned.
Yeah.
That's the face of our company. Oh, man. Oh. We've got to save Sir Stinks a Lot stories for another one. There's so many. Oh my gosh.
Well, I think we are probably running out of time, even with
we
edits.
are.
So
we're gonna have fun editing that one.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. Thanks for covering Brooke. We still need to do like an actual. Yeah. We'll still do another episode, at least one more episode with Braden for Easter Jeep.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm in. Maybe we can make it go according to plan somehow, rather than winging it and talking about schmoober burfs and was that what it was? Schmoober burfs? Schmeeber burf? Something. I don't know. They'll tell us.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Sir Stinks a Lot and Schmeeber boofins.
That was it.
Yeah. This is either going to be like the worst podcast or the best one. No in between. No in between.
Have a great night, y'all. We'll see you next week.